I've got a new package, let's unbox it together. I'm now unboxing the package from Notebook Therapy. I ended up buying bullet journals from there instead of Etchr and Olive because the shipping to the UK from Etchr and Olive was extortionate, whereas Notebook Therapy offered free shipping past a certain point, so I did end up getting 2 journals just to get that free shipping. I got a lighter cover one and a darker cover. I knew that I wanted my very first journal to be sort of pastel cream coloured, and there wasn't a lot of choice, to be perfectly honest. I wanted B5, which is a little bit of an awkward size. They had quite a lot on there that was that size, but not many light covers. I also wanted gold edges. I love when the gold foil is on the edge of notebooks. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. These journals are 160 GSM, they have 176 pages. That's not sheets, that is pages, so it's about 88 sheets. B5 is between A5 and A4. I was originally looking at A5, the sort of standardized size, but it was only about £3-4 more to go with B5, and I just felt like that was completely worth it. I really like the size, and I think being this big, I don't need to spread out each of my weeks. I think I'll be able to fit them in with loads of space, and that's what I was after. I decided to go for the slightly bigger size and the journals with the most pages in, because I worked out that that gives me about 5 or 6 spreads per month, plus the 2024 spreads, and that's easily enough for me to use a bullet journal in an entire year. So I'm aiming to make this journal last the entire year. I think that will be fine. I think like 5 or 6 spreads per month is more than enough for me. These journals were pretty expensive, I'm not gonna lie. They were about $40 each. I had a coupon code that knocked it down to about $35, but they're still very expensive for dotted paper in a journal. But they were not cheap, and the darker cover came with a few marks on it, which I was really disappointed to find. I did end up contacting their support team, and they have kindly sent another package, which is in the post, so I'll keep you updated when that arrives. But I was very disappointed to find white marks on the cover. I'd used a damp cloth to try and get some of it off, and some of it did come off, but there was still about 6 white marks on the cover, which I was quite disappointed for. Considering the journals were $40 each, I didn't expect it. Why do I want to start bullet journaling? I think it's a number of reasons, really. I have been watching a lot of bullet journaling videos here on YouTube, and I really enjoy watching people create their spreads. I think it's an excellent way to use creativity. Some themes are really unique as well, and I've just been really enjoying watching them. I think I'm also the kind of person that prefers to have a physical planner in front of me. I've tried making notes on my phone and using the calendar on my phone, and I just prefer having it written in front of me. I find it easier to visualize if I constantly have it to hand, so I felt like a physical journal would be a lot easier for this. There's also a lot of parts of bullet journaling that I'm currently not planning at all, and I would like to implement. Things like habit trackers I think could be really helpful for me. I'm also going to be treating this journal like a calendar. Rather than having one on my wall, I'm going to have it constantly near me. It's probably going to get quite messy over time because I'm actually planning on using it. My goal really for this journal is to be able to plan better and to have one place for the entire year where I can just log everything that I need to do. I currently have one very messy notebook that has scribbles all over it. It's kind of frantic and not organised at all. I have sticky notes dotted about in my room. I have some events on my phone calendar. I have dates to remember that me and my partner have just messaged each other. It's kind of a state, and for the next year I would like to have one place where I can log everything. I do think towards the end it's going to be quite messy, but my aim for this journal is really to actually use it and get the most out of it that I can. So why did I not choose a Hobonichi? Honestly, I'm gonna say it now, there's a lot of options out there for bullet journaling, and if you're a complete newbie to this, it's really overwhelming. I'd heard of Hobonichi, so I'd looked it up, and one of the key things that I wanted, this is such a minor thing, I wanted a journal with dots. I've never had a journal with dots in my life, and a lot of the Hobonichi ones, pretty much all of them, were grids or lines. It's such a minor thing, but for the price that I'm paying, that was just what I had wanted. Also, a lot of the Hobonichi already had the calendars mapped out, which is perfect if you don't want to do everything from scratch. But for this next year, I wanted to try and do everything from scratch. I wanted to try and have the full bullet journaling experience. As an artist, another thing that I will be considering is mediums. When I buy a new sketchbook, I like to test every medium that I can, every technique. I like to really thoroughly try everything. For myself, really, just so I know that I've tried everything I would possibly want to do, and I can stack up how good the sketchbook actually is compared to other ones, whether it's able to do what I would like it to do. And I'm going to be doing the same for this notebook. Although that's actually a pretty good video idea, I could share all of my sketchbook comparisons. I've currently got 15 sketchbooks, maybe more. There's quite a lot I've got in my head. Maybe I should map it down, put it in a spreadsheet or something. You can see that I'm trying to use watercolor on this paper. Being 160 GSM, I really hope that it would be able to handle watercolor. I've seen a lot of other people use watercolor in their journals, and I really hope this one would, but as you can see, it's warped quite a lot. It might flatten out over time, it might become a little bit better, but you can see the pages are quite warped, so I don't think I'm going to be continuing watercolor, which is really sad because I don't actually have many water-based markers at all. I have mild liners and I have one Tombow, so that might be a little bit of a problem in the future. Still, I ended up carrying on with watercolor and just seeing whether I could make it work. I think it looks pretty, but the paper has warped so much. I would like to try gouache in this sketchbook as well. I think it could really work being less water-based. I've seen a lot of people paint and draw in their bullet journals, and I really would like to do that if I can. One thing though is whilst I want to make my journals pretty, I want it to be usable. I'm going to be keeping the planning relatively simple and achievable. I'm going to be doing about 5 or 6 spreads for each month, and I'm only going to be tracking what I feel like would be helpful for me. I really don't want the journaling experience to become a chore. I don't want to get burnt out. I want the experience of creating the pages to be fun. If I don't have very much on one day, I don't want to feel guilty for not being able to fill up the entire box. And I don't want to have an in-depth tracker that's actually going to take time out of my day. I want this to help me and not hinder. I have seen a lot of people really stretch out their spreads, and especially this calendar system, but as I was writing it down, firstly, I was really restraining myself from actually filling it out and adding the birthdays and adding the events, because I kept telling myself, no, I'm not doing it, I'm planning it. That was really hard to get my head around, because I'm so used to filming, process videos on my channel, the entire painting process or challenge process of things that I do. It was really hard to wrap my head around the fact that I'm only planning it, I'm not actually filling out the entire spread. When I was using a pencil, I started adding in the birthdays, adding in my goals. I was just doing it as I was going, and I really had to stop myself. But honestly, I think this calendar is about the right size for me. I don't know that many people, I don't have that many birthdays to add. We'll see, I might be surprised, it might turn into a really busy year. But I think it would be really lovely having the entire year in one place as opposed to 2 bullet journals, one for each half of the year. That's really just personal preference. I don't see myself needing too much space for each spread. Unfortunately, watercolor I think just doesn't work in this sketchbook. One thing that I would like to try in the first monthly spread is collaging. I recently got some scrapbook paper and I really want to get back into collaging. I did it a lot when I was a child and I really enjoyed it. It's really fun, and that's what I would like to do for these bullet journaling sessions. It's definitely a different way of filming for me, having the camera overhead the entire time, and that's something that I'm going to need to get used to. This first session did take me 2 days and it wasn't the most relaxing experience. The camera was literally right in front of me the entire time and it was really difficult to write, but hopefully that will get a little bit easier as things go on. As for the spreads that I'd chosen to do, I started with the cover page, which I kept really simple and decided to add watercolor to. I wanted it to look really pretty because I'm going to see it like virtually every day. Then I did the grid line and key page. I tend to set myself 15 art goals for the year, which you'll see later on in December. So I'm going to make sure these goals are completely different and a lot more personal. I'm going to make sure they're not too difficult or unachievable because my main focus are the 15 art goals that I set myself. And a calendar that I'll be referring to. Those pages were pretty essential. I also decided to include a movie and TV show tracker. I know a lot of people include lots of different trackers, but for me, I think movie and TV shows were the only ones that I really wanted to include. If there's any films or shows that I know that I would like to watch this year, I'm going to pop them there and then I'm just going to tick them once they're completed. Rather than writing it as what I've seen, it's going to be more a what I want to do and actually achieving it. That's kind of how I'm going to be treating the entire journal, really. I've also included a social media tracker. Obviously, I don't want it to become an unhealthy tracking system, but I do think at the moment I probably don't look enough at the number of followers or subscribers I have, and at my analytics, at my insights. I did used to look at them quite often when I started my TikTok, and I think it wasn't healthy, so I'm trying to find a bit of a healthy balance. So I thought that that would be helpful. I'm not gonna lie, this spread so far has taken so long. This took me the entire day. I don't know how long it usually takes people to create these spreads. I have heard one person before, I think, say it took about 6 hours. They were not kidding. This took so long. Unfortunately, I had to end the first day there because the lighting got really bad. It's winter and it gets dark at about 3 PM now. Moving on to the next day now, there are 2 more spreads that I would like to complete. I've included a YouTube planner because at the moment I just have random pages in my notebook where I kind of log the next couple of months and what the videos are going to be. I think it's going to be fantastic to have it all in one place. I think it's going to end up very messy. I'll probably have to wait until the video is 100% confirmed that it's not going to be changed with a different one before adding it, because I counted up all the lines and I don't have a lot of wiggle room. If I end up crossing anything out, I'm probably not going to have a lot of room to write down what the replacement video is. I think I'm going to have to do my rough plans elsewhere, maybe in my weekly spreads, and then write the finalized videos in this planner, otherwise it's going to be an absolute mess. For the last one, I included a bucket list section. I'm going to have to keep reminding myself for this one that it's not like lifelong bucket list things you want to do, it's more like a yearly. What would I like to do in the year? The way that it's worded, it does sound like it's a lot bigger, but it's literally just going to be like a things I want to do in the year kind of section. The other one is a travel diary. I have seen a lot of people write like a travel bucket list or something like that, but I kind of know the places that I would like to travel to, so on this one I decided to do a travel diary because it's going to include the smaller places. If I drive to a different city, just a day out or a day in a hotel, if it's quite far away, I'm going to include it all because I feel like otherwise, my travel diary would literally be like 1 or 2 holidays that year abroad. I would like to include all of the smaller things that you don't necessarily think of that are a little bit hard to remember because you've only gone like 2 hours away. I'd like a place to remember all of those key events. Then for the final page, I've gone for monthly gratitude. Every morning, I'm currently writing morning pages and 5 things that I'm grateful for from the previous day, 5 things that I liked. That's all from The Artist Way. You've probably heard of it. It's currently kind of everywhere. So I didn't feel like I needed it to be a weekly thing, just key events from each month, key things that I really enjoyed, that I'm really grateful for. So this is my very first plan with me session for 2024. As you can see, I've kind of planned each spread to be helpful to me, things that I could benefit from in a really fun way that isn't going to take too much time out of my day. I've kept the spreads relatively simple and that's going to be my way forward. Thank you so much for watching. I am super excited to start the January spread and I hope you are too. If you don't want to miss any of this series, please make sure you're subscribed and I'll see you on Sunday for a new video. Bye bye.